In the beginning, there came an invitation sealed in silver wax, and upon it was written a promise of escape. 5 strangers answered it, each hungry for different salvation, and each too proud to distrust a locked door. When the doors shut behind us, the chamber brightened and a face appeared upon the wall, laughing as if the world itself had told him a joke. It was Loki, god of mischief, weaver of falsehoods, and patron saint of bad decisions. He called our trial a game and declared that if we survived his illusion gauntlet for 1 full day, we would be free. If we failed, we would remain as guests forever. The first chamber was a platform suspended in a star-filled abyss. Around us drifted more platforms, some upside down, some half fading, and all of them leading to a distant door that hung in the air like a promise. Loki's voice rolled through the void, sweet as poison. We leapt, and the void answered with a cruel twist of gravity, casting us back to our beginning in a storm of nausea and fear. It was the quiet one among us, Mara, who noticed the truth hidden in the lie. The stars were reflected. The abyss was a mirror hall. The platforms were only projections meant to bait the eye, while the real path slept beneath our own feet. I found a scuff in the wood, no larger than a fingernail, and stepped there with shaking faith. Solid ground met my boot where no ground should have existed. One by one, we followed the unseen bridge, and the false heavens shattered behind us like glass. The next room was a white corridor filled with sound. Not sound as men know it, but memory made weapon. Every regret we had ever swallowed returned at once, howling in our ears. Loki had hidden the lock's melody inside the wreckage of our own failures, and it seemed impossible to hear anything but grief. Then Jonas, who had once been a church bell ringer before shame drove him away, began tapping the gaps between the noises. Between every accusation, there was a breath. Between every shriek, a silence. In that silence lived a lullaby so simple it was almost holy. Mara hummed it once, and the corridor trembled. I entered the notes into the lock, and the door opened with the mercy of 2 stolen minutes. The third chamber held only a red button on a pedestal and a long hour of waiting. Loki urged us not to touch it. Then he punished our restraint by stealing our water every 10 minutes. We argued like frightened animals. One swore the button was salvation, another claimed it was doom. I knew by then that Loki's greatest trick was not the lie, but the truth arranged to look like a lie. So we did the unthinkable. We did nothing. We endured thirst, suspicion, and the mad itch of opportunity until the final second passed. The door opened. Loki sounded wounded, as if our refusal had disappointed him more than any victory could have. That was when I understood he hated not honesty, but patience. The final chamber looked exactly like the room where the game had begun. The same table, the same screen, the same cold light. Outside the open exit waited a street washed in sunlight, and on the table sat 2 hourglasses, one full of black sand, one of white. Loki proclaimed that one would free us, and one would trap us in endless time. It was a perfect trap for a perfect fool. The door was the lie. I touched the bright street and found a hidden wall where the air should have been. Mara and Jonas watched as I searched the room, not for a choice, but for a crack in the script. Behind the screen, there hung a loose wire, forgotten by the hand of the god who never forgot anything unless he wanted to be caught. I tore it free. The wall dissolved like a mask in rain. Beyond it waited a service corridor, dark and narrow and real. Loki's face flared on the screen in a fury older than kingdoms. He called us cheaters, but we had not cheated. We had simply learned the oldest law in any myth. The trickster wins only while the hero believes the trick is the whole world. We ran through smoke and alarms and burst into a back alley where the true sun struck our faces like a blessing. Behind us, the Gauntlet screamed and collapsed into silence. Thus did we survive one day in Loki's illusion kingdom. Not by trusting every rule, nor by rejecting every gift, but by seeking the one flaw that revealed the hand behind the curtain.